What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to talk to you about balance point and how to know that you're at the balance point. Alright, so first and foremost, let's just go over this real quick. Is if you have questions about your wheelies or regarding wheelie tips, you need to hit me up on Instagram with a DM, because I am 99% more likely to reply to you on Instagram than I am on the YouTube. I get so many comments on YouTube, it's very hard to keep up with it. I try to comment back as much as I can, but it's almost impossible. So Instagram is the place to be if you don't follow me already. Link is in the description. And yeah, so basically, alright, so I get this question quite a lot. It's basically people ask me, like, once I get to balance point, how do I know I'm there, and what do I do once I am there? So my biggest tip is, when you throttle up, when you clutch the bike up into the air, you need to be giving the initial power burst. Like, okay, say for example, just second gear right now, okay? I'm gonna throttle it up, and then you'll see my throttle hand goes back down. See? Throttle hand goes back down. You should not be clutching it up and staying like at 3/4 to a full throttle. That's not what you want to be doing, okay? So you need to work on the initial clutch up, get it up, and then ease your way into balance point, okay? So you don't want to be just straight up busting a wheelie and then going straight to balance point like that, unless you're a stunner and you have a handbrake and you're very talented, because stunning is a totally different ball game. If you're just looking to do just wheelies on the street, such as not like that. What I meant to say was, if you're just looking to do wheelies like this. Okay, this is just under balance point. You'll see I just brought it up a little bit higher and I come up into balance point, but basically you gotta find that sweet spot, which is your balance point, where your bike is almost weightless, and your throttle hand should be staying relatively at the same position, okay? So your throttle hand may be varying just a tiny bit, like not even that much. I mean, your throttle hand will stay pretty much solid once you're at balance point, and that's how you know you're there, okay? My biggest tip for that is keep your rear brake covered. Obviously, I've mentioned this a million times. Keep your rear brake covered, and focus on trying to keep your throttle hand steady. If you are somebody who does choppy wheelies, like when I say choppy, I mean like, okay, I'll just, for example, will be a choppy wheelie. God, I can't hit anything on cue today. Alright, choppy wheelie. 3, 2, 1. That's not even that choppy, honestly. But you see how the bike just jumps up and then it like, it's going down and then might come back up. If you ever see people doing wheelies where they're like, and they're just like back and forth, and their bike is like literally bouncing back and forth, that's because they're giving it way too much throttle and their bike is wanting to loop, okay? So if you feel like that, what you need to do is keep your wheelies lower and gradually work your way up into balance point. If your wheelies are choppy like that, do not try to hit balance point, okay? Until you get a steadier, smoother throttle hand, because you're bound to loop it, okay? And I've seen people loop wheelies before, and I can say almost 9 times out of 10, it's usually that same, they're just really choppy with the throttle. You want to be staying as steady as possible with your throttle hand. So get that down, and once you get to balance point, you will know, because your bike will, like I said, literally it will become like almost weightless. Like you're riding a 400-pound bike and now it's almost weightless. Like it feels like it weighs like 10 pounds. And once you get there, you'll be able to play with the throttle and learn how to keep it at that point. Okay, like wind is going to play a variation in there, because if the wind blows you and you're at balance point, it can blow you back, forward, side to side. Okay, so you want to not be trying to practice your first like balance point wheelies on a windy day. You want to find a calm, smooth day. So I'm going to give you guys another example of a balance point wheelie, and I will try to let you hear. You'll hear like the initial sound of the bike clutching up, and then you'll hear my throttle like just kind of level out, and it'll stay at that same point. Okay, so let's see if I can hit this one on first time. See, like right there, you hear my throttle? It's like, it's almost completely stopped, just steady right there. Put it down because the curve's coming up, but that is basically how it will sound once you're at balance point. And honestly, it's just something you're gonna have to learn, and it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take some practice. Don't rush yourself. My biggest tip to people when they ask me about wheelies is I say, do not rush it, okay? Just because you see somebody doing, like, you know, stand-ups or any kind of wheelie for a mile long, they probably have been doing this for years, and they have nearly mastered it. I think it's hard to say if someone is 100% mastered something, because you're always bound to have mishaps. So anyways, this is my tip on balance point and how you know that you're there, and I hope this can help some of you guys. Go ahead and like, comment, just subscribe, and like I said, if you have questions regarding your wheelies, or if you want some advice, send me a video or something like that in a DM on Instagram, and I will reply to you. I reply back to 100% of people who comment to me or DM me. Okay, guaranteed. So, all right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace and ride safe.